We're taught to fall in line, to act a certain way, to just get good grades, do your homework, go to college, buy the house, get the job, get married, and just be happy with that. Just don't ruffle any feathers. Don't shake any trees. Just tread water. Everything will be okay. Just, be one of us. Just join the pack. But what if we want to break from the pack and do something different and create some change in this world? What if we want to break from the pack and offer new ideas and offer new perspectives and offer a true piece of who we are so that others may benefit? Coming to you from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee, this is the Quinn Spinn. Hey now, and welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, one and all, to a brand new edition of the Quinn Spinn. I'm your host, Quinn. At least that's how I'm known here on the program, and I'm back here on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, YouTube, and more for another rousing and riveting installment of the official podcast of Underground Music Collective. And you just heard Rival 9's All I've Become. That's been our opening theme song here at the Quinn Spinn since the great year of 2014. And it will be until the very end of days. And I'm back for the third Quinn Spinn solo mission in as many weeks. A look inside the life and times of a creative entrepreneur, that creative entrepreneur, of course, being me. And before we get to it, I just want to encourage you, wherever you're listening or watching this episode, please follow, share, like, comment, subscribe, whatever the mechanism is on your platform of choice. Please do the thing, because all of those actions are going to help more people find this episode, find our messages here as we look to uplift and empower creatives, musicians, and other creatives alike. So I thank you for that, and let's get to it, because that's going to be a big theme here on today's episode as far as what we're going to be doing to empower creatives going forward. But also, I want to take this opportunity here at the midway point of 2023 to reflect on the year so far and what that means for right now, what that means for the future, the lessons we've learned, and the things that we're going to be sharing here in the coming months. And, one lesson I've definitely learned personally in my own journey over the course of the past year is that you need to, first of all, understand your value. You need to communicate that value, and you need to move towards situations that reflect that value. As we've said here many, many times on the Quinn Spinn here in 2023, this is our 10th year of existence. And that means that I've been in the music industry in one way or another for 10 years. And I think, for a good portion of those 10 years, I would say the first 8.5, maybe 9, there was this prevailing sense of imposter syndrome. There was this prevailing sense of viewing myself as the 26-year-old who didn't have a clue, who started this podcast in his childhood bedroom with a USB mic and a Dell laptop, and really was just doing it to have some kind of creative outlet and didn't really have a plan to get into the music industry and go on this crazy starseed journey, right? Somewhere over the past year or two, I think I've realized that all of those experiences, even those early ones, those formative ones where we're putting together benefit shows that we're not ready to put together, and we're thinking about dropping off demo CDs to Sirius XM, even though nobody in the building knows who we are, they have value. Those experiences have value. The lessons you learn from those experiences have value. The ways that you then put those lessons into practice have value, because each time you're iterating, each time you're making things better, you're following the trail to make things more manageable, if nothing else, but also to make things better, to make things more prosperous, to improve the quality of the platform, the quality of your output, and the quality of the community and the network that you're building. And I think over the past year or two is when I've started to finally not only recognize that, but feel comfortable communicating that value, especially, with us launching this coaching program in March. The interactions that I have with clients, I've just realized, wow, I've experienced a lot here and I've learned a lot, and I am so excited to share those experiences, but I'm also just as excited to learn from the experiences of other creatives in our community. It's fulfilling. It informs my path. It lights my way forward to hear what's working for other people and to hear also what's not working for other people and helping them to find some kind of solution. And if it weren't for those 10 years, I wouldn't be in a position to do that, right? And so I communicate this to you as an entrepreneur because I think a lot of us struggle to communicate that value and have it reflect in things like our rates, in things like the packages that we offer. And it's important to make sure that we're reflecting the proper value at all times, because otherwise you're going to be underpaid for your work and your experience. You're going to find yourself in frustrating situations. You're going to find yourself doing things that perhaps are below your pay grade at this point in your journey, depending how far along you are. And so it's important to stand up for that. It's important to stand up not only for your skill set, but for your knowledge, for your experience, and attract clients, attract people into your community, attract people into your network that are a reflection of that value. And that's something that I continue to work on. Another thing I continue to work on is developing the idea of really what UMC is and who it's here to serve. And although it's in the name Underground Music Collective, I think there have been a lot of lessons along this journey that apply to creatives of all disciplines, apply to humans of all disciplines, right? Things like resilience, things like having to realize what's been inside of you this entire time, this inner voice that keeps getting at you, telling you to go in a certain direction, follow your intuition, build what you're here to build. And there's so much conditioning that just like clouds that gets in the way of that layers on top of who we're truly called to be, right? And through building this platform here in the music industry over the past 10 years, I've gotten back in touch with that myself, and I'm thinking, okay, how can I use this to not only empower the musicians in our community and the creatives in our community, but how can we spread that message? How can we grow to a point where music perhaps is just one vehicle, right, by which we communicate our truth, by which we inspire others to communicate their truth. It can be music, it can be sports, it can be business, it can be any other creative medium, it can be any other life experience that leaves us better, that takes us on that hero's journey. And so as we look to the future here at the Quinn Spinn, of course, here at Underground Music Collective, and all things encompassing, it's really coming into focus that we have the opportunity to have a much larger impact beyond the music industry, beyond any one creative medium, artistic medium, what have you. And so I have to be honest, I'm not quite sure what that looks like yet. And that's exciting. That's an exciting part of this journey, because it feels as though, although music's always going to be at the center of what we do, that Underground Music Collective has not quite reached its final form yet. And so in the second half here of 2023, I'm going to be doing some digging. I'm going to be doing some work on the foundation of what we're building and get us set for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, right? And I'm going to be developing ways to build that community and working with our community to figure out what their needs are and finding a way to stay true to what brought us to the dance, but also have this expansion outward to serve more people, to inspire more people toward their truth. I believe that we can change the way forward for a lot of people. We can change the way forward for society by communicating our truth, by finding understanding with one another. Whether you do that through music, whether you do that through visual art, whether you do that through your own business, your nonprofit, whatever your medium of choice is, there's a chance to tell that story. There's a chance to inspire other people to find whatever that means for them, whatever that is, that thing is inside of them that they want to express, and to give them the power and the courage to express it. Because again, there's so much in this world that will discourage you from doing that. We're taught to fall in line, to act a certain way, to just get good grades, do your homework, go to college, buy the house, get the job, get married, and just be happy with that. Just don't ruffle any feathers. Don't shake any trees. Just tread water. Everything will be okay. Just, be one of us. Just join the pack. But what if we want to break from the pack and do something different and create some change in this world? What if we want to break from the pack and offer new ideas and offer new perspectives and offer a true piece of who we are so that others may benefit? That's the direction I'm going. And, this coaching work, the first half of this year, the opportunities we've had, the challenges we've had, have inspired and informed this, and I'm really excited to see where the trail leads everyone. Again, I don't quite know where it's going to lead, but second half of this year, we're going to find out, and we'll start rolling some things out. And, in a few weeks, I'm going up to Music Fest in Pennsylvania, which is its own sabbatical and vacation. I'll have some time to think things through, and I'm really looking forward to just going and filling my cup and finding an even better, more enriched way forward. We've come a long way these past 10 years, and it's going to get real exciting as we get toward our 10th birthday, our 10th anniversary of this show, because things are about to kick up a notch. I promise you that. So stay tuned, and of course, keep following the Quinn Spinn on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, YouTube, and more. Also, follow the show on Instagram at Quinn Spinn Official, 2 N's in Quinn, 2 N's in Spin. No matter what changes, the Quinn Spinn will always be here for you. I'll put it that way. And you can learn more about the show at undergroundmusiccollective.com, our central hub for all things independent music, creativity, community, and more. Follow UMC on all the socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. Follow the UMC 20 playlist on Spotify, which features 20 fresh tracks every Tuesday, plus the latest episode of this very podcast. At Nash Live shows, we're going to have another big one coming up on September 8th at the Cobra, which fittingly is the 10th anniversary of episode 1 of this podcast. So there will be a theme that night, and we'll be announcing some details on that soon. But for now, Revel 9's All I've Become is going to take us out just like it brought us in. Grab some muffins on your way out.
Now